All right.
Hey.
I think we're good.
What up, Brady?
Oh, not too much, man. Been an interesting week,
Yeah.
but we're here.
Gotcha.
It's pretty late in the evening, but we just got a meal in, so we're doing all right. Living to see another day. We got I think tomorrow's gonna be a good training session. I hope. So
What have you got
we're gonna
going
do
on
it up.
tomorrow?
I got a pull tomorrow, um, which it's my weird pull day. It's one of the ones where I don't do like any major compound movement, but I love it.
Mm.
I always really feel this pull day. I start with a meadows row, which is really my substitute for like my big compound movement instead of barbell rowing again. Um, and it's been a good day for me. So we're
Nice.
just gonna make it happen.
Good shit.
Yeah.
Good
What
shit.
what you got going on, man?
I also had a solid day. I was pretty busy. I had some clients in Garrison that I train on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from like 8 o'clock in the morning till around like I'm on my way back home around like 1:30, like 1-ish. Um, so yeah,
That's a
and
pretty
then
good day.
after that, yeah, it's all right. It's solid right now. I really can't complain. Business has
Yeah.
kind of been better than it's been in terms of the personal training, so I'm really happy
Yeah.
with that. And then what else happened today? And then I trained. I had a leg day, and then I came back home, and now I'm here shooting a podcast.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. We haven't talked in like a week.
I
What
know.
happened for you this week?
Let's see.
Anything crazy happen?
Yeah, some good, some
Training
bad,
going
some
well?
ugly. We'll see. Um, so just lifting wise, um, it was a solid week. I've been up again, still up. I've been focusing on just like letting go because I over cue myself a lot. You already know, but for those of
Yeah.
you guys who don't know, I treat my working sets like warm ups, where I like over cue the hell out of myself, and it takes a lot of energy out of me. So, just like talking with Nick, we just realized that sometimes you just gotta trust yourself that you kind of understand how to move, and you just gotta pull it and just let it go. So,
Yeah.
it's been pretty cool, like touching new loads and just letting it go. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. Having some fun in the gym.
Yeah, like actually.
It is really nice to sometimes just let go
Hmm.
and just let yourself lift,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So yeah,
I get
that's good.
yeah, I get too caught up in the over queuing of things, like how to actually
Trying to make
lift.
stuff perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Which was good at to
Yeah.
a degree because now I'm actually like proficient enough to just like kind of it
Right.
just innately just like step under a bar or like have something in my hand and I can just like press it correctly now without thinking twice about it. So I'm really glad that that happened, but it's time to make some moves for sure.
Yeah. Time to start putting some load in your hands, and that
Yeah.
sounds weird. God damn it.
Put a heavy load in my
I don't
hands
I don't
and
think I can go an episode without saying something that sounds
well, like
terrible.
innuendo. Yeah.
It's it's time to load up the barbell and rip it.
Yeah. Exactly. What
Yeah.
else?
I
Yeah, my
just
front
oh
squat went up a little bit. My RDL's up a little bit. I rode a little bit more than usual. I slapped on like
nice.
fives on either side,
There
so
you go.
that was
That's
dope.
been moving a lot for you recently.
Yeah, it
I
really
mean,
has
I don't know.
been. Like,
You've been taking some big hops there.
yeah, I was doing like 185-ish, and I really thought that that was like all I had in me. And
Right.
then we had that talk with Nick, and he was like, just fucking.
Just
Sometimes you just gotta do it. That was
all
like,
send that shit.
yeah, that the row was like my bridge into okay, like stop over queuing the hell out of yourself because the row is like, dude, it's just a different movement, right?
Yeah, dude, it's so different because it just feels like you're slinging it.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, a lot of the movements are kind of you're resting in the contracted position, And the barbell row is actually the complete opposite of that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why it seems like such a different movement.
Mm-hmm.
Because like with a squat, you're resting where you're completely stood up.
Yeah.
You know, that's your contracted position. Um, when you're deadlifting, you're probably resting at the top. That's your
Mm-hmm.
contracted position. In your bench press, you're resting at the top, contracted position. But in a row, you fucking can't.
Mm-mm.
Like
Mm-mm.
you can't just like
Yeah, you're
stay
like
in the
fully
contracted
lengthened.
position. Right. So it's definitely one of those ones that kind of feels like everything's flipped upside down and there's not really a great resting place.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
It's also like it's not nearly as braced as everything else. You know?
yeah,
Like
it feels like more of a raw movement. Like you
hmm
really can't over cue a row.
Yeah. Oh,
You
you'd be
just
amazed, dude. Unless
well,
you're
you
Meg.
can. You definitely can,
Yeah.
but I think it's a lot easier to get in your head about squatting than just like trying to rip a bar to your stomach,
Yeah.
you
I
know?
wasn't even like thinking that. I was just like externally rotate 18 degrees at my upper arm. Make sure that while you row that arm, you're driving down and back. Like, dude, I was way, you would be amazed at how in my brain I was. It almost felt like I had like a montage of like Ben Pakulski and or like Joe Bennett just like just rattled off in my head, just like ripping out file cabinets of just like cues.
Information.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah.
man.
But you're right,
That's
dude. Like
brutal.
once you start loading up though, like it's really hard to kind of like cue 18 degrees of external rotation and do all
Yeah.
that shit that you need to.
You
Sometimes
just
it's just like fuck.
you're gonna fall into what is most comfortable and efficient for you.
Yeah.
Otherwise it won't happen.
Yep. hmm
You know?
Yep. hmm
So yeah, that's a good that's a good transition for you, man.
Yeah. Thank you, dude. Yeah, man. I'm actually pumped that I'm a little stronger than
Switching.
I thought.
Yeah. How much we gotta do this weekly. What's your
This
weigh
is
in?
the weekly 156. 146,
No
Brady.
okay.
146, not 156. I know.
I
I
was
saw the
gonna
face. I was like,
say,
wait. I
holy shit.
know.
Like you put on 10 pounds in a week?
Yeah. Yep. And that 10 pounds got me that extra 5 pounds on my row.
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah. What is that up?
By 1 pound.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Still on the journey to 150.
Yeah, sure. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna make it like a journey to 155 because I know if I just like 150, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna flirt with it and then just probably like come back down to like 147 or some shit. So I'm just gonna like
Well,
go for 1.5.
really, really it needs to be a journey to 200.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So true, dude. So true. This is true.
But
What are you weighing in? Are you around 200 right now?
I think I was 202 flat this morning.
Okay. You just
So
going up, up, up?
yeah, when we've slowly gone through 201, or at least it feels slow compared to my rate of gain up to this point. But yeah, we're kind of. I actually totally forgot to check in with Nick this week.
Uh-oh.
Shame on me. But it's okay. Everything is going as planned, so
Yeah.
everything's fine.
Yeah, you've
Um,
nailed like 52 other check-ins, so you're
more than that.
yeah,
More than
that
that.
ass.
Yeah. So we're probably gonna hold this weight for a couple of weeks and try and recomp here just a little bit, and then push again, and then recomp, and then push again, and recomp, and just kind of like own the weight that I'm sitting at
hmm
before we push.
hmm
That way we can really maximize the next 12 months, so that we don't get too sloppy. No, know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Except for the feeling what 200 pounds feels like. That I cannot share
Well,
that.
just think about what you feel right now, and then just add another third of you.
Pretty much. And then add 70 fucking pounds.
Yeah, honestly, somebody asked me the other day, they're like, how are you feeling at 200 pounds? I was like, honestly, I don't feel that much different than when I was 175, 180. Like, it
160,
doesn't
yeah.
really feel any different to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like tired
Yeah.
walking around or any of that stuff. Um, I can still tie my shoes just fine.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't feel any different, honestly.
Mm-hmm. It
I
doesn't look
could,
like you're putting it on in your face or anything. Like,
yeah, my face after after the diet, it reverted back to how it normally looks,
mm-hmm.
and then since then, it's actually held pretty normal.
Dope.
Um, Again, I think most of it's just going to my ass.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dead ass though.
it's like it's all just going there. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, maybe we could pick somewhere else, like my arms or something, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll take it. We'll take it.
yeah. I've been I've been oddly self-conscious about my arms recently. It's really bothering me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's dawning on me, and I keep like seeing photos from my prep that just like how much better I would look if I had a good set of arms.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I don't.
Yeah.
and and I just have such a hard time growing them, and I don't know if it's because of like a training inconsistency with them, or maybe I'm training them too much, or I'm not training them enough, or who knows. Um, and they probably are bigger than at the end of prep, but right now I'm not as lean, so everything just looks smaller.
Yeah. And
Um,
like soft.
exactly. Um, so yeah, it's just like I just want a nice set of arms.
Word.
like
Right there with you, Brady.
like it just I don't know, I'm gonna be really upset at the end of all of this if I come out and my arms are not like caught up to the rest of my body,
Yeah.
especially because I know how much my legs have developed already to this point.
Mm-hmm.
My legs are have grown massively.
If your lower limb is bigger than your arm, I think you're good. You're
Well,
in a good
yeah,
you're on a
my
right
legs
the
should be
right
bigger
path.
than my arms.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But I know that my legs are already going to be the most powerful part of my physique.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm worried that I'm just going to look like this super bottom heavy bodybuilder, right?
Yeah.
I'll have these like little tree trunks for legs, and then it's just going to keep getting smaller as my body goes up. Like
Yeah.
I'll have to be that bodybuilder that like pulls their pants down but leaves their hoodie on.
Yeah. Usually it's the opposite. See, I
Right?
think that like the path that we're going though is the right way. Like this is the way. Total Mandalorian. This is the way. You don't
This
want to
is
end up the opposite where your extremities look larger than everything towards the center of your body.
yeah.
Like you don't want to have massive arms, especially like in my opinion, if your arms are like 5 times bigger than your calves, that's not okay. Like
Yeah.
I think there's some volume left on the table
I
somewhere.
think my calves are bigger than my arms right now.
Yeah, like I think you're that's okay. I think that's okay. If it's the opposite way around, those are the people that have to focus on volume for probably like everything in the middle of themselves, like their glutes, their hams, their quads, their chest and stuff like that. Like we're kind
Yeah.
of like doing all of this stuff, like we're building the foundation from like the center, and then we move out towards like the extremities and shit like that. I think it's just the program that we're on and the amount of volume that trickles in through the arms. Because I will say, I added in a little bit of arms add in a little bit more volume,
Yeah.
and they
I
definitely got a
think
little bit bigger.
ooh,
But that
I
makes
think
sense
I
because
need to
they're kind of they're.
find Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Oh
Go
yeah,
ahead.
sorry. Yeah, I was just gonna say like they're probably like thirsty. They're just thirsty. They're like waiting for it. Like right now, if we just add in a little bit of volume, they're very responsive.
I think I need to find an exercise that works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm flopping around different bicep movements, trying to find the one that just like feels right for me. Um, and I haven't found it yet. And I
Which
think that's why. Granted, right now I am not liking any sort of upper at all. I mean, I like my pull days, my back days, but I hate my push sessions. They just never really go that well anymore. And I've always had a hard time with push. It is definitely a very, very weak area for me. And none of it grows to par with anything else. So I'm constantly kind of bashing my head against a wall with those sessions, which sometimes makes it hard to get in there and be like, I'm gonna attack this day,
mm-hmm.
right? Because it really just feels like I'm gonna go in and do the same exact thing and
And just eat shit.
and just eat shit again,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
nothing's gonna feel right.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, that's probably also part of it. But I don't know. I gotta figure it out. There's some mental issues going on with specifically shoulders and arms.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just like the only chest movement that I actually kind of enjoy right now are flies. Like my machine flies, which
Yeah.
is really funny because I used to hate that movement.
Hmm.
It never felt right. And now I've got it right. Um, but my pressing is all just taking a shit right now. Part of that is I just can't find a good setup. Um, just with benches tipping, slipping off benches, just all sorts of setup problems going on. So I can't really find a good base to kind of push off of.
Mm.
My dips, for some reason, took a huge load hit, and I'm not sure why. It was just like I lost stability at the shoulder and the bottom of the movement. It was
Like
like,
permanently.
yeah, for like weeks. Like I haven't gotten it back. Like
Huh.
I was on a really good run with dips, and I got to like 2 plates for like 8. And then the next week, I couldn't even do like 1.5 plates for like 6. And so I've just been rehammering 1.5 plates. And I don't
Hmm.
know why, but
Yeah, that
it's
is
like,
weird. Did you
yeah,
get
it's,
heavier by any chance? Like, well,
I
not
mean,
that much.
not that much,
Yeah.
25 pounds.
Yeah. Shit.
So yeah, I don't know what's going on with those days. It's weird. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
It's almost like I need a session that's just gonna like change my perspective of the day, and I don't know if I can do that for myself right now.
Mm. It's gonna take a
Um,
good day to kind of make that
yeah,
happen.
it's gonna take a really good day, a perfect session, or someone training with me that'll like kind of help me through some stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I don't even know where I was going. Oh, I was talking about arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, my arms are shit. And I just want them to grow, but I think I think the movement that it's gonna be is actually going to be seated incline curls. I think that's the one.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna put those back in, and I'm gonna have to do what I did with adductors and calves, and just be like, you're just gonna do 2 sets of 15 to 20 every day,
Yep.
and then you'll change from there. Because
Yeah.
I just right now I just need it to be a consistency kind of thing. so that I can't like brush it off, I guess.
Yeah.
And so just scheduling it for every day um, will be like my tiptoe into it.
Word. I
Yeah.
actually like that. I started incorporating that on my calves and adductors
Right? Every day,
because of you.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Game changer.
And it's
It's
like, yeah,
definitely,
they're hit.
it's right. It's a huge reason why my legs have developed the presence that they have. Is
Mm.
because I've put so much size on the inside of my legs.
Yes, dude,
Right?
adductors is big.
Yeah. Like I haven't actually put that much tissue on my, well, maybe I have. I don't fucking know. I'm
We did
thick. But I
with two C's.
in in percentages, I've put way more on my adductors than I have on my quads or my hamstrings. Now, my glutes, on the other hand, those take the cake. But,
No pun intended.
um, but yeah, no, the adductor growth has been huge. Um, I think calves are gonna look good when I get all shredded down. I fill out all my pants now, which is cool.
That is nice. That's a good
It is
feeling.
a really nice feeling when you put on a pair of pants and they just kind of hug your calves. Feels good.
Yeah.
Feels really good. um, but yeah, so that's what's going on. I've
Mm.
recently we've incorporated more vertical pulls. I think I talked about this in the last one.
Yeah, you
We were
do
putting
like
some more vertical pulls in because
yeah,
I wasn't doing like any,
like zero.
like like maybe one.
Yeah. Which was like for your rear delts probably.
Mostly, yeah. I was
Did
doing I was doing
you
like
actually?
I was doing a high row, and so that's pretty close to a vertical pull. Um,
A
and
high
then
row?
I was, yeah, a high row, like a high lat row.
Like up
So you
here?
have no. You have your pull down and then your high row.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Um, so
Single
it's like
arm?
a what? Yeah,
Single arm?
yeah,
That's fun.
yeah. I love those. They're definitely one of my favorite movements. They feel
For-
stupid good.
Mm.
Um, and then my other vertical pull was just pull ups. But when you're absolute shit at pull ups, they're really hard to progress. So we threw in a different vertical pull
Okay.
to maybe grab up some progression and load it and all that stuff. So
Rack pull?
a rack pull?
Was it? Or rack chin?
Oh no, no. I've got a fancy pull down machine in the gym. Yeah,
Okay.
very
Like
fancy.
a hammer loaded kind of a thing? Or is it like a machine?
It's like a hammer. It's not a hammer. It's a Nautilus explode pull down. You can do it bilaterally or unilaterally. Um, and its path is fucking awesome.
Dirty.
So
Nice.
good. Yeah. It like it's a good pull down when you come in, and then as you come back out, it actually pulls you out and forward, almost like a
Mm.
high row, but still up. So you really can get a full lat stretch. It's fucking awesome. And the strength curve on it is pretty sick. So yeah, that's in. Um, but other than that, programs and stuff is pretty much the same.
Mm.
Not much changing. I mean, I'm hopping around gyms right now to figure out where I want to fully land, or maybe get a couple different gym memberships and have certain days be in certain gyms.
Dude. I
Um,
feel like that would mess with like my mental game. Like sometimes like when I'm in a certain atmosphere, like I can get used to being in that atmosphere and then I don't really have to worry about too much. Like sometimes when I go into a different gym that I'm like hyper aware. Like I know like
right.
a man is racking his shit like all the way down the way because I'm like hyper aware of everything.
Yeah. Um, and I agree, it's probably not ideal. Um,
for a couple of reasons.
Yeah,
But it's what's working
but
for you. Yeah.
but here's the thing, right? The gym I'm in right now, the other day I spent an hour in the car convincing myself to walk into the gym because I just don't want to be in there. Like I sat in the car for an hour waiting for the right people to leave so I could go in there and not be upset.
Whoa.
Like
Damn.
that's how in my head this place has gotten.
Yeah, that's
They're
pretty
like
bad.
they're like I pull up and if I see certain people in there, I'll just
You're
wait.
like
I'm like I can't because
fuming.
because a handful of things will happen. I'll walk in and they'll start trying to talk to me and start asking me dumb shit and I don't want to deal with it. Or the owner loves mopping the floor as soon as I start my stuff. And I'm
Oh,
not
Brady's here.
right. And I'm not going to do my compounds with a soaking wet floor and then bust my ass. And or all the racks are taken.
Mm,
So a lot of times I end up just it's a mental game to get in there, which is
yeah.
not optimal, right?
No. Yeah, you
Um,
usually want your mental game to start while you're in there,
right.
not before you're in there.
Oh, so yeah, that's one reason, we're kind of hopping around right now is we just need a different environment and to get away from everything and just lift.
Mm.
Um, but I might go back to my old stomping grounds, which is the local YMCA, and that's where I actually started this whole fitness journey with Nick.
Is that
So
the
I'll have my
Y?
my Cybex hack back
Wow.
and a really fancy leg press back, plate loaded one, which I love that leg press.
Word.
The Smith machine there is awesome.
Huh.
Um,
That's cool that you actually have like good equipment. That's like
yeah,
very
there's a
rare.
couple like random gem pieces in that gym,
Yeah.
but the weird downside is there's not actually like a full rack.
That's pretty bad. Okay.
There's, but honestly, I might make it work. We'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. So we're playing around with it, and we're figuring out what's going on. But yeah, training's been a little weird, just because all this stuff, and every time I go into the gym, I'm like kind of making some stuff up because a certain piece of equipment won't be there.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. That's the other thing why it's kind of difficult because like your plan kind of will change without a doubt based on the
right,
equipment
but
that
if
you got.
if I plan to be in the gym for that session every time, I can plan
Yeah.
for the equipment that's there.
Yep.
You know.
For sure. Yeah. 100%.
Um, yeah. So get it figured out.
There it
Who
is.
knows?
Gym roulette.
That's right. We'll probably end up at more than one.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
just roll the die at this point. Like,
Yep.
oh, gym number 6.
Be like, oh, we're gonna train here today. Pull a piece of paper out of a hat. Oh, nice.
Literally.
But yeah. So that's going on. It's been weird. But my leg days are going great as normal. My leg days always go great.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
I think that
but
makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of
yeah,
sense that like your favorite day is the day that moves the best for you.
yeah, yeah. Not surprised there at all. Especially now that like front squats have picked up. Um, yeah, because there was there was a couple weeks there where front squats, I felt like I was kind of hitting my head against the wall, and then in one day, we had our group call, and we talked with Nick about it, and he was like, "Do this," like, okay, I did that, and it allowed me to bring my stance in, which made me way more comfortable in my squat to come back out of the bottom and it moved like butter.
Hmm.
I was like, oh wow,
What was the cue
imagine
he
that.
gave you?
I just did the frog stretch. My hips were way too tight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had
Oh
to
shit.
I had to stand super wide, which I don't like.
Uh-huh.
I feel super disadvantaged in the bottom when I stand wide.
Okay.
Um, and when I Smith squat, I stand close. Um, and so I know like what my power output is with that kind of stance. And so I really don't like standing wide, but it's what I had to do so that I could get to the bottom without folding over. And then in doing the frog stretch, it gave me way more access to my hips. And then I could stand closer and I could actually come out of the bottom way better. It felt way more comfortable and everything just moved. It was
Hmm.
crazy. I went back and looked at the video and because I was telling you how with my front squats, I was at 3 plates. I just held up 5 for some reason. I was at 3 plates, and I'd have one week where I'd get like 4 reps, and then the next week I'd get 2,
Yeah.
and I'd fail, and then the week after that I get 4, and then I get 2, and I just like kept doing that for some reason, and it's just because I couldn't sit into a groove. It felt like every time I walked up to the set, it was just an absolute free for all. Let's hope we can make it from point A to point B.
Yeah. Hit or miss.
Right, exactly. And so if the stars aligned, I'd get 4. If they didn't, I'd collapse after 2. Um, and then this time, I walked in, I did the stretch, I felt really good about it all, and I just rocked 6, and 6 looked like what rep 2 did on my 4 rep days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, wow,
Yo,
I
that's
could have I
awesome.
could have done 8. Like I definitely could have gotten 8.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that was the key. I've got it. That felt right. I know what
Hmm.
to do next time.
Dude.
And so we're now ready for another load push coming
Dude.
up. I
What
think
are the odds that both your and my front squat got better miraculously with the frog?
with the front,
With the
dude,
frog.
I've said in the group so many times now, I'm like, if there's anything that we learn here on Team Golf, it's that we have shit hips.
Yeah.
Like
Shit
every
hips, sink
single one of
ships.
us. Every single one of us has terrible hips.
Yeah. Yep. Except for
And
Nick.
right, except for Nick.
Yeah.
And that's why he can help us address our hip issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And as we do that, we're like, oh my God.
Oh,
Mind
I didn't
blown.
know improving my mobility would allow me to get deeper.
Right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was huge,
Yeah.
honestly. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
really good about it. And now that that has happened, I actually feel way more confident about making 4 plates by the end of the year.
Hell yeah,
Like
Brady.
100
Hell yeah,
times
Brady.
confident.
Hell yeah.
Because that was the first time that I did a front squat, and it felt like everything moved exactly how it was supposed to. And
Dude.
I'm now ready to actually like try and progress reps and then progress load.
Yo.
Like every session with my front squat, I progressed really quickly, and I think that was more of just like a confidence thing of like, yeah, I got this. Um, and then that was the first session where I did a rep, and I was like, that felt spot on.
Amazing.
Like, like it,
Yeah.
it felt like my Smith squats. Like
Okay.
everything was just in tune perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
nice and controlled down to the bottom,
Yeah.
perfect execution back up.
Yeah, like you threaded that needle.
Exactly. Like it finally felt like everything clicked and it felt like my RDL. My
Okay.
RDL is very very precise, very
Mm-hmm.
clean, and very essentially automated. I didn't
Yeah.
have to think about it. I just did it and it just moved. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, it was perfect. And that
Yeah.
was the first time a front squat actually felt like that for me.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, now it's go time.
Yeah. You're pretty
You
much
know,
taking the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it just clicks. Like
Yeah.
it literally was like a snap of a finger. It was like, whoa. Like
I was like,
it was almost like I had like a veil on my eyes, and then it was just like lifted. I was like,
right.
oh, all right, I get it.
Yeah. Like when I did the movement, it felt exactly how I imagined Nick's reps felt. Like
Yes, dude. I
honestly,
was like your hips are like steel. Like they don't
right?
move at all. They're not
It just
tilting.
felt like everything moved exactly as it was supposed to.
Yeah.
And like the direction changes were just like clicks. It was like
Yes.
a machine. A
Yeah,
machine had
dude.
just done it.
Straight up. Straight
And
up. Yeah.
it felt so good.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
did one rep, like right after the first rep, I was like, "Oh fuck yeah."
Oh
like
fuck
like
yeah.
let's go. Like I
Yeah.
knew I was crushing it. And
Yeah.
I moved through 4 like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I moved through 4 and I was like, "All right, time to go up."
Yep.
And I took a breath, went for 5, and then went after 6, and I just didn't know what to do after that. I was like,
I didn't.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I didn't think I'd make it this far.
That was exactly it. I was like, I was not expecting to make it this far.
Uh,
And like I should have just done 7 and gone for 8
mm,
right there. Um, but yeah, it was really refreshing.
yes. I'm really happy for you, Brady.
It's
That's
coming
sick,
up.
dude.
Yeah.
Coming up.
And then now we get to really start the journey, adding load and
Oh yeah.
fucking going after it.
Mm-hmm.
It will be interesting because I'm wondering where my next bottleneck is.
Mm.
You know, it's definitely one of those things where that was actually the first time I'd done the front squat, and while doing it, I actually felt my legs working.
Really?
Like in the set, I was like, "Oh my god, my quads are on fire."
Yeah. And
It
like
was like the first time that ever happened.
you didn't feel like
Like
you were
I
just
was
folding
just
like a lawn chair and
it
you could
didn't
actually feel
feel
your
like I
legs.
was trying to press it with my lats.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, so that was a really really cool session to kind of have happen.
Good shit, Brady.
And it's going to be really cool. Like that was skill acquired, you know, it's those things that you learn just as you progress
Mm-hmm.
through load. You have to continue to gain skills and, you know, adjust for where your bottlenecks are. And
Yep.
um, I'm very interested to see where the next one is going to be. Because honestly, right now, I'm pretty confident in my ability to hold the weight on my shoulders. Um, so I have no idea. Like I don't expect myself to fold.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think part of that is the mental fact that I'm like, if I can hold 500 pounds bent over, I can probably keep this bar on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Like
That's safe to say.
I'm not gonna fold at the low back, right? I
Mm-hmm.
already know that. So just stick in it. Um, and it's not exactly equivalent there, of course.
But it's
Uh,
good to know in the back of your
but
head.
yeah, it's that's my
Yes.
mental buildup. Is I'm like,
Yeah.
this weight is nothing I haven't handled before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's what I actually use my RDLs for. My RDL is just my confidence boost for everything else. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you've
It's
held
like
this weight in your hands. You're good.
I can already out 400 pounds, 500
I
pounds. I can overhead press this.
yeah, no problem. Yeah, it is funny. It does kind of make you feel like a bitch sometimes though, because you're like, how the hell can I bend over and pick this shit up,
Yep.
but I can't press 2 plates? Like,
Yeah.
like I can't press 2 plates overhead.
Yeah.
It's such
Yeah.
a small fraction of 5 plates.
Some
But
it hurts a little bit. Just a little bit.
whatever. It's fine.
I don't even want it
I
anyways.
didn't even want to be big. Fine.
Yeah. Fine, fine, whatever. I don't care. Okay.
But yeah, no, definitely one of the best feelings is when, you know, exercise just kind of clicks.
Yeah.
and it feels like everything worked exactly how it was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, super looking forward to progress those. Um, I think we're gonna see some good jumps in weight here pretty soon. Um, I do think I am going to confirm 3 plates and get the full 8 before I jump. Um, but we'll see how the next session goes. Honestly, if I'm feeling really good, I might just slap on 5s or 10s, and just send it.
Oh,
Because
dude.
the quicker I can get to 3.5 plates, the better.
Yes.
You
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
again,
That's
that's
the other thing I'm also doing too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh, yeah, it's exactly like what I did with my RDO. As soon as I can get to that half plate, the next full plate comes so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just grinding to that half plate. Generally takes me some time, but yeah, I did. For example, my RDOs. I did 4 plates back in November, I think. Sounds about right. Uh, Maybe even October. Sometime a handful of months ago, I did 4 plates for the first time on my RDO. And then 2 weeks ago, I did 4.5 plates for the first time. And then last week, I did 5 plates.
Okay. Yeah, that was quite the jump. Quite the jump there, Brady.
Yeah, so I will say I didn't do 5 plates for the same reps by any means.
Yeah.
I literally just did it to feel it, and I did it for one, and
Mm-hmm.
I had a second one in there.
Yeah.
But I just did it to feel it, and then I went back to my 4.5 plates.
I remember that day.
But
We
yeah,
talked about that like 2 weeks ago.
right, right, exactly. And um, yeah, so once the journey to 4.5 plates felt like it took forever, but 5 plates doesn't actually feel that far off, especially now that I've done it once and I have good confidence in doing it twice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that worried about it. It'll come pretty quick.
So,
I don't think I'll revisit 5 plates for probably a couple weeks. Um, just because the next time I revisit it, I probably want to get 3 or 4. Um, but I mean, who knows? Who knows?
it's up to the gods, dude.
Right. All up to the anabolic gods.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
But
ass.
you know what? I've pressed the same weight for like a year now, so it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been there too. I think it's just gonna be like a clicking moment, you
I
know?
sure hope so.
It's
I
gonna
I
be a
really
clicking
do hope
moment.
so. I almost feel like it's one of those things that I need to go get like some body work done and get my shoulders like unlocked
Yeah.
so that I can move properly.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I just haven't gone and done that.
And
You
maybe
know,
there's like a secret frog movement for our upper body that you don't know
maybe
about right now.
what if we try and do the same thing with our upper body that we're doing with our lower body?
Pretty much. Yes. That's pretty much like the PSL1 course, dude. That's all it is. It's literally like the PSL1 course seems so intricate, but like verbatim, what Shallow said was like, all I fucking do is tell people to like hang out on one foot. Like that's pretty much it. It's like
Yeah.
it goes, yeah. It's like lower body, hips and shoulders, they're very similar, you know. Dysfunctions, they all get treated somewhat similarly
Yeah.
also, which is kind of cool. I have so many lectures that I have to watch. Like I have to crush them all tomorrow, honestly.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I
There's
have to
no
crush.
way. Aren't they like 2-hour lectures?
They're just hour-long lectures, so
Oh,
and I can put them on like 1.5 speed, which is what I usually do, and I just
gotcha.
crush them. Yeah.
That's
But
like
yesterday
type
was really
yeah.
cool though. I was watching the video yesterday. Um, and he was basically just talking about like pain, like and how pain can like come about, and he was basically talking about like this loop of pain, right? So like our spine has that hole that runs through where your spinal column runs through, and basically you've got like a dorsal side and a ventral side, so like a side towards your back and then a side towards the front. And basically your brain, like if you want to like contract your bicep, your brain sends a message to the dorsal side, and then it tells your muscle to contract. But when you have like low back pain or something like that, like just like random ass pain, your brain actually doesn't have to communicate that message. Your muscles can communicate a message to the ventral side, and then the ventral side communicates right back to the muscle and it tells it to tighten up. So it's basically like if you're thinking about your spinal column and your spine inside of that spinal column, if your spine moves, like if it like shears, right, your spinal column will just, it's as good as severed, right? So your body uses, it accesses those ventral pathways, like the one that doesn't really need your brain, so that it can like kind of save you the effort of having to think about, oh, okay, contract my multifidus, contract my back muscles, so that
Right.
my spine doesn't just slip and like totally, leave me paralyzed.
Yeah.
That was like pretty cool, like cool
That's
little
cool.
tidbit from last lecture. Yeah, it was cool.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And now I don't know where to go from that. I gotta watch the next video.
And next week we'll catch up with Jordan Challenge.
I'll tell you what to do about with it.
Hey, he's actually our next guest.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
that'd be cool.
That'd be cool though.
That would be
We'd
cool.
have to pay him.
Oh yeah, 100%. $1,000.
What would
20
we
minutes.
talk about with him? Be like,
You said,
Jordan. I said, what would we talk about with him?
oh god.
Like, are you a cookie person or a brownie person?
Do you like spoons or forks?
Exactly.
I want to really get my
Actually,
money's worth out of you.
are you a cookie person or a brownie person? I think I'm a brownie person.
I'm a cookie person.
Yeah? What kind of cookie?
Yeah.
I will say there's a lot of variety to cookies.
This is also true. Yep. I love me a snickerdoodle.
Do you now?
I do love me a snickerdoodle.
I
And I
have
also just like
protein.
chocolate chips.
Oh yeah, classic. I
Yeah.
have protein in the closet that tastes just like a snickerdoodle cookie.
Really? I think I do
Oh,
too.
it's so good.
It's the mystery, MRE.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have that one too. I didn't really. I was like,
Oh, I like it. I
I
thought it
like
was really
the.
good.
I forgot which one I got last time. The chocolate chip oatmeal.
Oh,
That's
super
actually
good.
that is killer.
Super good.
That
That's
is
like it's like eating Cookie Crisp,
that's
man.
really fucking. Yeah,
It's so
yeah, it
good.
really is. That's so good. So for all any of you guys listening that you're looking for a dope protein, MRE light
Yeah, get the light.
chocolate chip oatmeal. Snag some.
Yeah, super good. I also really like the s'mores.
Haven't had that one yet.
It's kind of like a Pop Tart,
Oh,
like a
okay.
chocolate Pop Tart.
Okay. Chocolate Pop Tart.
Yeah.
Not a s'mores Pop Tart, just a chocolate Pop Tart.
Well, yeah, probably a s'mores Pop Tart. It's very chocolatey though.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I think I ate that Snickerdoodle one, or I drank that Snickerdoodle one, and I was like, I don't even know what a Snickerdoodle is supposed to taste like. So I think I was just like all weirded out.
Yeah. Oh, I totally found this out the other day, and I don't know why I've never thought of it earlier. Start drinking your protein with warm water instead of cold water. Way better, dude.
What?
Way better.
What?
The
Brady,
flavor
what?
profiles change dramatically with warm
Oh.
water.
Okay, so they get like brought out more?
They get like way better.
Oh shit.
I know.
Huh.
Who would have fucking
All
thought?
right. Yeah, who would have thought? Not
I
me.
also I also tried it with normal like pre-workout supplements.
Also
Confirmed.
works. What?
Also works.
What the fuck? This entire time.
I know. I'm like, I've been using cold water. No, warm water is the way.
Noted, dude. Holy shit. All right.
Yeah, it was game
I'll have
changing.
to try that next time.
Yeah, the flavors were so much better.
Don't
And
the things say like consume with cold water or some
I
shit?
have no idea.
They're just misleading us.
I know. They've been tricking us.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't even know.
Yeah.
But
The guys
I
back at the
have
shop are like, holy shit. It
I
tastes
have
amazing.
Get Raw Nutrition, their chocolate protein, super good with cold water. But then if you have it with warm water, it is literally like drinking hot cocoa.
Hmm.
Like so good.
Okay. Holy
It
shit.
is insane.
You got some good hacks, Brady.
Yeah. All the stupid shit.
It's like, how can I
Like
take all of my supplements just all together?
just
Powder and
throw them all
pills.
together.
Yeah.
I made an adjustment to that.
Yes.
Yeah. So now what I do is I actually mix up an EAA in the morning so that it's flavored. I put my powders in there and then I toss my pills back and drink the EAAs.
Oh my god.
Way smarter.
Way smarter. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just gonna continue to take them how I've always taken them. I
Yeah.
think I'd probably vomit if I tried to take them that the way you took them that first time.
Dude, I took them for a couple days that way.
Yeah. Yeah, you were like, maybe today's gonna be better.
Um,
You're like, no, wasn't better.
Dude, it was awful every time. I'm
Yeah,
just
that
like
sounds
I'm
right.
trying to get down all the grainy water at the end. Just
Oh my
ugh.
god. No. Yeah, that
Yeah.
doesn't cut it for me, dude.
Also-
Shit.
One morning I was like, maybe I should just dry scoop it.
Oh my god, you fucking maniac.
Just dry scoop 5 grams of creatine and then
Oh.
2.5 grams of betaine anhydrous.
Creatine in with the pills, no water.
Ugh.
Powdered up, pills in, cock it back. If you can do that, don't do that, guys. Don't do that.
But if you
Don't do
can,
that.
take
But
a video, put it on Instagram, you'll be famous.
yes,
Tag
don't
me.
die. Don't die. We are not financial advisors.
or health advisors, more like.
You should do your own DD.
That's right. Oh man.
All right, Brady. Should we crack a question? You want to crack a question?
Oh, we gotta do what we're supposed to do on every one of these. I kind of covered my best thing already, but let's do best thing, worst thing real quick.
All right.
What was your best thing that happened in the gym this week?
My best thing was that 185 front squat that just happened today. So
Hell yeah.
squeaking it in,
There you
squeaking it
go.
in. That fucking felt awesome. Just like
Nice.
he said, like we were talking about, just clicked so nice.
Yep.
Um, and like you're saying, dude, like I could see 2 plates. I could actually see 2 plates because of how well that felt today.
Mm-hmm.
Not tomorrow, but I could see it.
No.
I wasn't even. I could barely see 185, so just touching 185 today was really dope.
Yeah.
And
That's a good one.
then something
Coming off a
bad.
high today.
Another good thing, I went to the dentist.
Nice. How was
Yeah.
that?
It was good. No cavities.
No
Full
cavities.
disclosure, I was traumatized by the dentist when I was younger. So I have not gone in like actually 6 years, like 6 or 7 years. So
Nice.
Kelsey, for the past year, she's been like, go to the dentist, go to the dentist. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, and I finally went. And the doctors said I have no cavities and that my teeth are actually nice. And I was like, really? And
Thanks.
then I was like, I can't wait to rub this in Kelsey's face.
Yeah.
She was like so pumped for me to have a cavity. She was like, you're totally
Oh
gonna
my
have a cavity.
God.
I was
Wow.
like, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see about that.
We'll see. No, I like in all actuality though, I was literally like, yeah, I probably have like 5 cavities and they're probably gonna have to like pull a tooth or some shit.
Yeah.
We did figure out that I don't have molars on the top. I do have them on the bottom though. So
That's pretty cool.
those should probably get pulled sometime soon, but I don't want to pull those.
Why?
I don't
Do
I
they
don't know.
hurt?
They're not causing me any pain.
Then
They're
don't
okay.
pull.
They're doing fine. They've got room.
Did you did you ever have your wisdom teeth taken out?
No, that's what I'm talking about, dude. I don't have top wisdom
Oh.
teeth. I have bottom wisdom teeth though. So I'm like this weird
Oh.
genetic anomaly from the top up, I guess, or some shit.
You're the next evolution.
Literally, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lady was like, I don't know if you have top molars. And she was like, we'll have to see in the like on the X-rays, and then the X-rays came back, and the doctor was like, yeah, I guess you don't have top molars. Like, okay. It's been like he was like, did you know
Perfect.
that? I was like, no. Like, what the
I do count my teeth often.
yeah, but not those molars.
Nice.
All right.
Well, nice. Good dentist run.
Good dentist run. Success. Yep, success. That was awesome. That was actually really dope. um, you have no idea how much of a relief that was. It's been like a year impending. Okay. And then something shitty that happened to me.
How's your upper days going?
Um, dude, my upper days are also grooving pretty well, but I have not had a
Monster.
barbell in my hand in like a few weeks now. So
Oh.
yeah, that we moved the rack, so it's like in an awkward place, and I just haven't set the bench up there yet. So I think next
Mm.
time I go at it, I'm gonna set the bench up, and we'll probably have a barbell in my hands next time. Um, shit, dude. Yeah,
No bad things, huh?
not really. I could be heavier.
Yeah, okay. How's your diet going then?
The diet is getting figured out. I just talked to Nick, and we figured that the last meal should just be repeated from meal three. So meal three and meal
Oh,
four, I'm just repeating so that I don't have to kind of like look for anything else. And that's
yeah,
work. So
that works.
so yeah, it's okay for right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, that's a good week.
Dude, yeah, it was okay. I'm really trying to honestly think I um caught me
I'm
caught me
starving.
in the outhouse with my pants down, Brady.
Oh my God.
That's what my math teacher used to say. Shout out to Miss Elkins. Um, yeah, I could have slept maybe a little bit better. I was actually surprised with my performance today because I am coming back from Kelsey's, and I got
Right.
back at like 1 o'clock at night last night. I was like strapped on a little bit of caffeine. Didn't fall asleep till like 2:30. Woke up at like 7. So I really didn't think that today was going to be an amazing day. Didn't eat till like I got back from work. So like 2 o'clock was like my first meal. And then I went to the gym on one meal. So I really wasn't expecting today. So that was awesome. And then
There you
yeah.
go. Now,
So
now
here we
you
go.
know in optimal conditions,
I'm
you're
swinging for the
raring to
fence.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sick, man.
What about you, Brady?
Um, my best thing is also going to be the front squat. Oh my God.
Yo, that really
Sorry.
got you, dude.
Yeah. Phew.
I want you to go back in this recording and just go back to that because you were literally like,
Yeah, my work phone always has that effect on me.
yeah,
Anytime
just
it goes off, I'm terrified.
yeah. Literally, fire, fire, put it out.
That's exactly what it's like, dude.
Yeah.
This morning was a mess because of all the snow stuff that's going on across the U.S. All of the plants in the southern states lost power, um, which caused major outages in production, and yeah, and that's part of my job. So
Yep. Yes, you are the
that was
Mr.
a
President.
hectic, crazy morning. and I
Mm,
still actually think the power isn't back on. But
really?
yeah,
Wow.
they've been down all day.
Shit. Dude, it's kind of fucked out there right now. My dad actually just slipped and fell on the stairs like right before this.
Is it
Like,
snowing where you are? It hasn't snowed
no,
here yet
it's
today.
just like ice cold, and the stairs are made of like this weird gravel, but it doesn't look like there's anything on it. But you step on it and literally zero friction.
Slidey.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
He is okay, thankfully. He
Good.
hit his head though, so like that
Oh,
was like kind of scary for a second there.
yeah.
But he is okay. He's okay.
He's okay.
Knock
Good.
on wood. Knock on wood.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
so my
watch your
best
step
thing,
out there.
yeah, for sure. My best thing is definitely my front squat. That was dope. Um, my worst thing is going to be that I don't feel like I have a gym to train in.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I have any like ground to myself, you know?
Yeah.
Just like I'm kind of like floating
Yeah.
and I can't get comfortable anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely kind of the worst thing that's developed. And it's kind of been going on for a little while, but it definitely is at like peak this past week. It's been really bad.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's sometimes like a change of atmosphere is definitely needed. It can like kind of bring you back to life a little bit.
yeah, that's what I need. I've got a client that I train, and he's at the gym that I'll be going to at the Y. He trains there. He's freaking awesome. He's a 17-year-old kid. He works harder than anybody I've met.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, almost anybody I've met. And he's all about it, right? This kid nails everything.
Good.
Um, and so he and I might try and get some sessions together.
Nice. Good shit,
Um,
man.
yeah,
Good
so
shit.
we'll see. I don't know. I have a hard time lifting with people sometimes, especially because I feel the need to teach
Mm-hmm.
a lot, and that kind of takes away from my own like vision of my workouts, right? It
Yeah, like
takes
when
me
you gotta
back
do
out of the
some
zone
shit.
because I got to teach,
Yeah, you gotta do some shit.
right? So I don't know. We'll see how it all goes and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, maybe I just got to be selfish. I don't know.
That's sometimes it's what it comes down to. Like there are certain times where like conversation's okay and I'm okay with it, but then like if I'm not in a conversation,
Yeah.
literally all you're gonna get from me is like a yeah, it was good, and
Yep.
I'm instantly I will look away. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of like how I just kind of like do my own thing. Like I'm just
Right.
like, hi, how you doing?
Hey,
And then I gotta do something right now.
and move on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
exactly,
my best sessions are
exactly.
definitely when I can just plug in my headphones and like tune out everyone.
Drown it. Yeah.
Um, that's when, I do the best. My
Hmm.
sessions always feel the best. But it doesn't always go that way.
No headphones today. Also,
No headphones today,
yeah, dude, the odds were against me.
and you still prevailed.
Stupid. Weekly Anabolic pulling through.
Love it. All right. Yeah, let's answer some questions. We're an hour in.
All right.
What you got?
Um.
You know what I noticed? So I go back and, do all the timestamps for these and stuff.
Mm,
Dude, I shake in my seat
I
so
also
much.
I try to stop that too. Like
I
yeah,
I
like with
keep
my
trying to
leg.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always just like doing this in my seat. I'm always bopping along. I'm
Yeah.
like, I gotta stop doing that.
Yeah. And I'm always just like on this like low jitter, like low hum jitter,
Right?
like all the time.
I'm like, what is
Also
going
trying to
on
stop
with
that.
me?
Trying to stop that as well. All
You
right,
really are.
Brady, is there a best split?
I just started shaking again.
I'm nervous.
uh, yes, there is a best split. And the best split is the one that addresses any weaknesses that you have. Bam!
That's how it is,
Hit him,
ladies and gents. So what do you
hit
mean
him
by
with
that,
that
Brady?
one. Well, I guess, and I'm talking about this from a bodybuilding perspective. So I want to preface my explanation with that. This is not a powerlifting conversation or any other sport. This is purely through the glass of bodybuilding. When I'm explaining this, it still holds true. What I said is whatever addresses your weaknesses is what you should have your split around. But I'm now going to explain from a bodybuilding perspective. So when you're a bodybuilder, the ultimate goal is to be complete, not have any weaknesses, be balanced, be symmetrical. And so earlier I talked about having shit arms, right? I've got my legs grow, my back grows, but I've got shit arms and probably not an awesome chest. So at some point, we're not there yet in my own split, or in my own progress. My split will start to reflect the fact that those are my weaknesses, and I'll have a dedicated arm day, or I'll have, a day that's more focused on developing chest a little bit better than it is. My split will start to work around and emphasize the things that are my weaknesses so that they can catch up to the other parts of my body. Mm-hmm. For some people that need to just put on size, right? A lot of times you'll do a push-pull legs because it's a really good way to hit all the major body parts twice a week. Oftentimes, the downside to that split is that you start to develop or you start to not develop arms as much, right?
That was coming.
Right. So that is a byproduct of that split. There are ways to program around that. We still do arm work to try and mitigate that as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people who will do a push-pull legs arms to counteract that. I'm sure that's a fine split too. The bro split, which is chest and tries, back and buys, quads, hams,
Shoulders, arms, yeah.
shoulders, arms. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't even know it. That's a great split too. That gives you the opportunity to focus in more on, an individual muscle group. It allows you to basically address your weaknesses a little bit more, or I guess more intently than a push-pull legs. A split that I actually really like, and I program for my clients, especially if they're stuck in wanting to have a 7-day split. So something that falls exactly within a week is I'll do push-pull legs, posterior chain, arms. And that has actually been an awesome split. So big fan of that one. Just because I think most people's posterior chains aren't up to par with most other things. It still allows you to work your arms, and it still allows you to go through a push-pull legs cycle. So that's a
I
dope
like that.
split. Yeah, it's
I like that in terms
pretty
of like
sick.
adherence too.
Yeah.
Keeps things kind of fun.
Yep. So that's a sick split that I kind of just put together. But none of the splits that I just listed are going to be perfect for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who has crazy arms probably doesn't need to do a split that has a dedicated arm day, right? They should probably work on their legs more often. So maybe they should have a split that has 2 different leg days, one strictly focused on quads, one strictly focused on hams. If someone has a bad back, you actually implement 2 different back days, and you have one, they'll call it back thickness versus back width, which is essentially just your horizontal pulls versus your vertical pulls.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so really your split should reflect what you're trying to work on the most. There's no one split that you'll probably follow your entire your entire career. And you probably shouldn't follow one split your entire career. You
Mm-hmm.
should be fluid with your split. Don't feel confined to one. Don't think anyone is better than the other. Instead, use your split as an opportunity to develop wherever you're weakest, and then if you're no longer weak there, adjust.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's that's what I think about what split is best.
Dope.
Don't overthink it. Just address your weaknesses. And if
Yeah.
you're just starting, try and find a split that is going to give you the greatest overall picture.
Yeah.
You know?
So do you mind if I play off that a little bit?
Yeah, go for it, man.
So I
No,
I
not allowed
actually
to talk.
no. This is my podcast.
This is mine.
I completely agree with literally everything you said. I just want to talk about like prioritization for a second. And basically everyone thinks that they need to like prioritize something. Generally speaking though, even if you're listening to this, like even Brady and I, we're not in this stage of prioritizing by any means necessary.
Mm-mm.
And it's pretty much just because everything else isn't developed. Like you need to make sure that you're developed from the middle to the outside. So your chest, glutes, hams, quads, and then you can move to the outside. But you got to make sure that you've got all these other things in line before you start prioritizing your arms or your calves. Because if your squat is shit all, if your RDL is shit all, if you can't move right at all, period, then there's really no reason for you to be bicep curling in the corner for an hour straight. There's no reason for that. You should be focusing on the meat and potatoes, like on your squat, your dead, your bench, your row, all of these other lifts, and then you can kind of trickle in that volume as needed. So, like if you think that you're someone that's, especially if you're a beginner or even an intermediate, don't prioritize a certain muscle group over something else. Just baseline, try to improve upon all of them.
Just
Um,
try and grow.
yeah, exactly. Um, I think frequency is an important player. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
so
for
if you're
sure.
like a beginner, I think hitting a muscle group 2 times a week is usually better than one. Um,
Yeah, especially if you don't know how to train to true failure yet.
yeah, yeah,
You're not gonna dig yourself a hole if you
hmm,
don't know how to train hard enough to do that.
yeah.
So 2 times a week is completely reasonable.
And
Um,
with that frequency of 2 or 3, you're able to kind of add in other exercises. So your exercise selection also goes up a little bit. So um, just like your movement paths between lifts will also improve. Um, both will all kind of be, focused or encompassed under the underlying or the overlying goal of just moving properly in whatever path it is, whether it's pressing in a horizontal path or vertical or what have you, you know? Um, yeah, that's pretty much it about prioritization, I guess.
yeah, I had one thing that I wanted to add, but I kind of forgot it.
Maybe it'll come back after I ask you this
Oh,
question.
I
Oh,
got
yeah,
it.
okay. Hey, that
I
was
got it.
quick.
So I got it.
Maybe it'll come back before.
At what point? So you said you probably shouldn't focus on prioritizing a muscle. At what point do you start to prioritize a muscle? I've got my
I,
answer.
I guess I should have said you should always the goal should be to prioritize everything and not leave
All of
anything
it.
on the platter.
Okay. So at what point do you start trying to catch up other
Okay.
body parts?
Right. So when your ass gets so fat like Brady, right? And then you got to start prioritizing other muscle groups because they're starting to take over. No, okay. In all seriousness, though, when you get to like that really experienced level, your muscle bellies will probably be fairly mature. and you're gonna have muscle groups and also like genetics as well. Like some people just carry a little bit more potential in other areas. Some people in different areas. Like that's just how it goes. So like Brady might be well endowed in the glute department, maybe the quad department. Not so
I
much with other
hope
people.
not.
Maybe other people might just be really receptive to pressing movements, and their chest might just explode upon the itty bittiest amount of volume and load. So like taking that into, just taking all that in, and then now you're like a really, really experienced lifter. You've been lifting for like 10, 15, 20 years. And you're, maybe you're even enhanced, even, who knows? But you're kind of at that level where it's like, okay, this is like that end runway. I'm a professional now. You're probably going to have a muscle group that is well developed, and you're probably going to have another muscle group that maybe isn't as developed. And that would be the case for prioritizing a muscle group, would be when your whole package is now kind of where you would like it, and now you're kind of just like tapering up the little bits
Tweaking.
and
Yeah.
pieces. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah. So pretty close to kind of what I was thinking. But if you're competitive, um, and you're doing shows, go get the judges' feedback, and probably for a long time it'll go, you just need to get bigger. And so your split should reflect that. And then at some point they'll go, you're really good, but your arms just need to be a bit bigger. And then there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Problem solved. Don't think too hard about it. You know, if you're competitive, let the judges kind of talk you through how you can be better in their eyes, because that's really what you're doing. You're trying to appease a judge.
Yeah.
So if you want to be good in the competitive realm, you should probably listen to their advice, and what they think. Now, that's not to say you can't, and you should look at yourself objectively and go, yeah, this is definitely a weak spot. And if I develop this area, I can create a way better illusion. Um, right? So if you have a thicker waist, that's where you can go, okay, so I need to develop much larger shoulders and back to kind of help my waist look smaller. Um, and that's how you can start to look at your physique and your split objectively. But for the most part, and probably anybody listening to this, you probably just need to focus on getting bigger.
Bottom line.
So don't overthink it. Find what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and especially if you're just training, try and keep your frequency up.
Yeah. Yeah. The frequency of 2 is big. I used to do the bro split. We've all been on a bro split before.
I've bro
And
split before.
it does stuff. Yeah, it does stuff.
Well,
It's just I
yeah,
just think that there's just a little bit
any
left
training
on the
split
table.
will work
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
you
it
train
does
hard,
stuff.
right?
But is it optimal, Like that's kind of like,
Yeah, and
you know,
we won't rip down the optimal
yeah,
route,
pathway here.
right?
Food for thought, right? The guys that are rocking bro splits typically are pro bodybuilders,
Oh
right?
yeah,
The guys that
uh,
are enhanced that can absolutely smash themselves and recover every ounce of tissue that they just
yeah,
bent on for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
right.
It's
Um,
not, it's,
yeah,
and,
Fuad calls it
and
the pro split.
yeah. And then you've got, and then who copies pros? Beginners. And so
Beginners
now you've got beginners on pro level
doing
splits
doing what the
with pro
pros
level
do.
volume,
Yeah,
right? And yeah, they'll get different results.
and they're eating 2,500 calories,
Yeah.
taking that
Ouch,
creatine.
Brady. Ouch. Yeah.
No, we've all been there, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
for sure.
know.
We live and we learn.
Um, However, actually, speaking on that, because that goes kind of right into a question that I had. Can and should a natural lifter train the same as an enhanced lifter?
What a
What's your
good
thoughts on
segue.
this?
That was a good segue.
Yeah, yeah, that
uh,
lined up perfectly.
Yeah, so based off of what I just said, you could probably imagine that the answer is going to be no. I don't think that beginners should be training like experienced level lifters, and it's just because of that exact reason. You're a beginner; they're really fucking experienced. They know how to move their body. They know how to move the loads immaculately. They're also maybe enhanced, which does kind of help, so they can handle a lot of
In this
volume.
question, they are.
Yeah. They can handle a shit ton of volume. They can handle a lot of load, and they can also recover from it way better than you can if you're not enhanced. So, like just trying to do what someone else does probably won't, especially like that, won't work for you.
So I'm gonna actually completely disagree with you.
Hell yeah. Good shit. That's
um,
good.
I I think as a natural lifter, you should try to train just as hard as the pros do.
Okay.
You should be trying to lift as much weight as you possibly can. Essentially, your
Without that.
training should emulate what an enhanced lifter's is,
Hmm.
but your lifting will be unenhanced.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
your loads will be less. Likely your volume will be less, but you should still be trying to train just as hard.
Yeah,
It
your
should
intensity.
right. So being enhanced is essentially just a multiplier to whatever you're doing. And so as a natural lifter, your training should look exactly the same as what your training would be if you were enhanced, and then it's just unmultiplied. Like if I were to go to being enhanced right now, I probably would change almost nothing except for, I'd probably eat more food.
Yeah.
Um, and I could probably give myself some more volume,
Hmm.
right? But other than that, I'm still going to train to failure. I'm still going to train in the same rep ranges. I'm still going to do the same exercises. I'm still going to follow the same tempos. My
Hmm.
training principles don't change, just my capabilities within my training amplify.
Boom. That was
Bam!
good.
Hit them with
That
it.
was good. That was nice. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a no, but I think you should be realistic that you can't do as much as an enhanced lifter is doing.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there's some really strong natural lifters out there. I'm trying to be one myself.
Hmm.
My some of my internal goals is to outlift enhanced lifters.
You
Um,
fucking do actually though. Like no lie, when
there's
you
some
row like 4 plates, it's kind of like I
yeah
thought he was gonna deadlift that.
there's some lifts that I'm getting there, and
Yeah,
that feels good inside.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so my goal is for it to seem like my loads. That sounds terrible. Again, my,
Just let it ride, Brady. Just let it ride.
my the movements that I'm doing, the load that I'm handling, um, I want it to seem as if I'm enhanced, and that's what I'm going for. And then
Gotcha.
one day, if I go the enhanced route, it only moves from there,
Fucking
right?
stupid.
I don't go, okay, I'm gonna be enhanced now. Now it's time to actually try,
Hmm.
right? It's
Yeah,
the same
that's fine.
thing as like people going for their pro card. They're like, well, once I get my pro card, I'll dial in my diet. Like, no, fucking nail it all right now and then get there and then adjust once you're there,
Hmm.
right? So I don't think waiting to try hard is a good approach. It's actually a really good way to just not accomplish anything at all.
I can fucking agree with that.
So, yeah. So, to round off that question, yes, I think a natural lifter should try to emulate the lifting of an enhanced lifter,
Hmm.
um, and then be realistic about your recovery, right?
Yeah.
Because that's all being enhanced really is it adjusts your recovery.
That's literally it. Yeah. Like Brady had said, like nothing will change. Like it's not like, oh, it's time to start this mini cycle. My diet's going to be aligned. I'm going to start this new banging program. It's going to be completely different than the program I'm on right now, and I'm just going to turn into a animal. Like it's
Right.
not. That's not how it goes. Literally, what Brady said. I know it sounds super like, no, like you're not going to change anything. Like you're just going to eat a little bit more. You're just going to lift a little bit more. Like that's it. Like yeah, that's
Yep.
fucking it. That's it,
That's
guys. That's it.
that's it.
As
You
far as
know?
it gets. There's nothing else. Like
Yeah. Like
quite seriously though.
hopping on a cycle is not the time to just now start training
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is that I think people just don't have their ducks aligned before they jump into something. And they always think that they're like that they're good, but odds are you're probably not. Like you can look into
Yeah.
something for like I know dudes that are doing things right now that have
Oh,
only looked into the things that they're doing probably less than 2 weeks, right?
oh my
Probably
God.
less than 2 weeks. And they're doing things and they're taking these things and they don't know what's gonna happen to them. They're just fucking doing it, and they're just like, screw it. I know for a fact their sleep isn't right. I know for a fact they're eating in a surplus, but their training is dirty, and there's just all those ducks that should be aligned first before you flip this
Yeah.
switch. They need to be there before you just flip this switch and say, screw it. Like, I'm going to do this to compensate for my shitty diet, my poor sleep, my inability to lift properly, right?
Yeah. Like I said, it being enhanced, well, actually, literally the word, it enhances whatever you're doing. It's an amplifier.
Yeah.
So if you're going to amplify shit,
Good or
you're just
bad.
you're just gonna get shit. You're
Yes.
gonna get shiny shit, right?
Yes.
But if
Shiny
you
shit.
so if you can nail everything, that's when moving from natural to enhanced has huge dividends, right?
Mhm.
And that's
Mhm.
when you see people just absolutely blow up, but it's because they already had everything else in line that all they're doing now is multiplying 100,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Mhm. Like
So,
imagine if you like trained a samurai for like 50 years without a sword. And then after 50 years you gave him the sword, right? And now you're just like
he just trains with this wooden dowel.
exactly, yeah. And then you're finally given your sword and now you're just lethal.
Yep. Yeah.
Straight
He
lethal.
learns he learns to kill with the wooden dowel. And then he's handed the samurai sword, and
Yes.
he's that much more effective now.
Yes. Yeah. Unstoppable.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, and dude, I will say I do agree with you. I think the intensity should always be there. I'm not a fan of leaving 1,000 reps in the tank by any means.
yeah.
If you look at it on paper, that's kind of like the route that I was going. Like if you took some like a
Yeah,
step
I
from
I
them and just
figured.
on paper you gave it to someone else, that's probably not going to work out so well. But you bet your butt you better be pushing hard. You
Yeah.
you should be pushing just as hard, if not harder, than those guys.
Yeah,
Smartly,
seriously.
intelligently,
Of course. But push yourself.
but push yourself.
Yeah, I figured you agreed with the position.
Mhm. Yeah.
You just said it differently.
Yeah.
You were looking at it from a different.
Technical, very technical.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Um but yeah, dude, my push days are days that make me go, God, I need just fucking give me roids.
It's gonna be like 6 cc's.
I, I do. Because I'll do a set. I'm like, that was such shit.
Fuck it, I'm doing steroids.
Give me all the trend.
Yeah.
Just like in
Damn, dude.
between sets,
I'm so
inject me
sorry,
with the
Brady. I do
trends.
feel you. I feel you, Brady. I feel
Like
you.
that's the only day, but it's because it's such a shit day for me. But that tells me I'm not ready yet.
Yes.
It's not the right time,
Yes.
you know?
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Because on my days that I do really well, like my RDLs, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm awesome.
You're like, I think I'm already on gear.
Right? I'm like, there must be something in my bagels.
Yeah. Haley's just injecting all your chicken with Tren. He's not even gonna know it. It's all going to his ass.
Oh man. But yeah, so yeah, push days make me wish I was an enhanced lifter so that I can stop feeling like a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. Lifting heavy can kind of make you feel like you're enhanced, though. I got a
Yeah,
taste of that for a second.
you're feeling good. You're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I need more.
It's like 135. Yeah. Get it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But when I rode like 225, I did feel pretty strong there.
You're
I was
feeling
like,
pretty good about that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't think I had that in me. Yeah.
it feels good.
There we go. Weird. How far into this
Got
are
another
we,
one?
dude? Yeah.
We're an hour and a half in. We got some more questions. I feel all right.
Oh yeah.
I am hungry again though.
I know. I
I'm
gotta eat.
starved.
I do gotta eat
Yeah,
3
but
pieces of pizza with my name on it
for real?
soon. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Fuck yeah. Just plain. But
nice.
like from like a pizza shop.
From like a good. Okay, yeah, that's what's
Pizzas
up.
are goddamn expensive, man. Like I spent $20 on that pizza.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's less
I spent like
expensive than sushi.
14 at the other place off 55. Shout out to
Mm,
Pleasant Ridge. They're like mad cheap. Yeah,
well, maybe you'll get more calories in this one.
pretty much. Yeah, that's what I'm shooting for.
That's what I'm going for. Um, you want to ask another question, or I got one?
Yeah, shoot it, dude.
All right. Can you train 7 days a week?
Yeah, you can actually.
You can.
You can.
I wouldn't, but you can.
Yeah, maybe take a day to yourself, but yeah, you totally can. But like, I wouldn't. What I wouldn't suggest doing is training 7 days a week, trying to 1 RM on all of those days, giving yourself 10 sets of 10. Like I think what I'm getting at is you gotta like if you're gonna do something like that, if you're gonna push on one side of the equation, you gotta pull from the other side. So yes, you can train 7 days, but it's probably not the best for you. And you're probably gonna want to change how you're going about training. You're probably gonna want to maybe reduce the amount of sets that you're doing. I don't even know the kind of split that you'd be on. So you could be doing like a full body day every single day for all I know.
Oh my god.
That would be
It could just
crazy.
be like a rotating push-pull legs. So sometimes you hit things 3 times a week.
Yeah, so maybe like I would frame it. You want to work out 7 days.
Push-pull legs, push-pull legs, arms, push-pull legs.
Yeah. Push pull legs, arms, push pull leg is what you said.
Yeah,
Dang.
arms is your rest day.
Arms is your rest. I was like, okay. I think you just have to play your cards right. You'd be in a situation now you've got more days that you're training. So you have to take into account frequency and volume, and you got to make sure that you don't like overstep some of those boundaries.
Yeah, from experience, I've done this,
Mm.
and I can I can tell you that you can expect to be injured within like a couple months.
Yeah.
Like training 7 days a week, and back then I wasn't even training that hard. Like I really wasn't training that hard. If you
Yeah.
train with any sort of effort into actual failure ever, um, not gonna work for you.
You
Like
better be
just
sleeping.
out of experience, it won't work for you. Um, you're gonna end up in a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
And if you manage to do 7 days a week and get it right so that you're kind of recovering fine, you're probably not doing anything worth a damn in the gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Intensity is probably down the shitter.
like you'll have to walk in do a main compound and then walk out.
Yeah.
Like, you really won't be able to do anything of substance because you won't be able to survive.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
Granted,
you
there
will
are some
dig yourself
freaks out
into a
there.
hole.
I will say
Mm-hmm.
there's some freaks out there that have done it and can do it, but from those freaks, they experience a lot of issues, just with injuries, because they aren't recovered enough. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the same question relates into, well, what if I do 2 days instead? I only train 4 days a week, but I do 2 days. Um, it's the same thing. You're just digging yourself a hole that you can't get back out of.
Yeah.
Um, Seriously, like, recovery is your friend, and not even your friend, but it's as necessary as drinking water in this sport.
Yeah.
You have to recover.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
when you do things like 2 days or training 7 days a week, you just aren't going to be able to recover. And then you're going to dig yourself a hole, and you're going to get hurt. And then you're going to have to take a whole month off. And then
Mm-hmm.
you look like an idiot.
And you're probably gonna be back at square one.
Yep.
Word.
So my greatest recommendation, don't fucking train 7 days a week.
Word. I thought the
Also,
question was if we had to train 7 days a week, how would we make it work?
oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, that works too. The question was, can you train 7 days a week? And
The answer is
again,
yes, you can.
yes,
But
you can. I've done it. Um, but God, it's awful.
mhm.
It's terrible. And the funny thing is, I trained 7 days a week because the way my schedule worked during that time, I figured that there would be one day of the week that I wasn't going to be able to make it in.
But
Um,
you did. You
yeah,
made
that happened far less than I actually thought it was going to.
it. Mhm.
But I still trained every day just to make sure that I went there, and if I
Yeah.
had to miss a day, then it's okay, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, yeah, can
Yeah, the
only
gym
say
is
how terrible that was.
it sounds like that's pretty terrible.
It's not great.
No.
Um,
Yeah. So
I
it's
definitely could have done better.
yeah. In terms of like recovery maybe or not training as fucking hard and all the time.
Or, lowering my days in the gym and actually training harder.
hmm Yeah. So
I was, it was really cool for like 2 weeks, and then everything just started to hurt. Like, all my joints were hurting. Um, Muscles were always tired.
hmm
And so performance just starts to drop. But when you're stubborn like myself, you kind of try to not let it drop, and so you just kind of push through it,
keep going.
and then you hurt yourself.
Yeah. It's really a game of recovery, is what it is. Like when you're
Yeah,
in the gym, it's kind of hard to think about it like this, but like when you're in the gym, you're actually not getting stronger. You're actually just you're getting weaker. You're
yeah,
destroying yourself. And then it
yep,
isn't until like you go and eat something and go sleep that like you can actually build back that tissue and build it back a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger and things like
yeah,
that. So it's like, do you continue to, if you could think about it, you're digging yourself into a hole every time you train. So it's kind of like how hard are you planning on digging yourself into and how far are you planning on digging yourself into this hole? And then if you could think about like sleep and eating and recovering as you kind of like filling that hole, it's kind of like a game of like, well, how deep am I going to dig myself
right.
before I'm buried, you know?
Yeah,
And you
before you're
gotta
7 feet.
exactly.
Is
So
it
you gotta
seven or
make
is it
sure that
6? I don't even know.
6 feet
6 feet
under,
under.
6 feet
Yeah,
under,
6,
yeah.
not 7. Well, 7 for good measure.
Yep, 7 feet under, because
That's
that's
what
literally where
happens.
you will be. Yep.
Yeah, 7 feet for 7 days a week.
hmm
That's right.
And the 2 a day thing, that's kind
Two
of
days you
like
can do for a super short time.
if you're really used to the yeah, like that's kind of like something is happening in a short time frame, and you just want to fucking make some magic happen, like
Right.
understandable. But like typically what happens with those is you'll also take into account volume. You don't just do the same workout. Like if you were doing a workout, right, normally, and then you're like, I'm gonna do this workout 2 times today. Like
Right.
that's not how it goes. You gotta take away from one side of the equation, like I said before, and
Yeah.
then you can cut
And
down a little bit.
your second session of the day is generally going to be something smaller, like I'm going to hit biceps, or I'm going to hit rear delts, or I'm going to hit triceps, something smaller. I'm just going to hit calves.
I'm pretty sure Nick would like smash himself and then going back and like RDL or some shit.
Right.
You know he did.
Right. But Nick
But
is
to humans, we
that's
can't do
right.
that.
We cannot do that.
We cannot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean you can try it. You can do it for a really short time. Before COVID happened, there was a time where I was planning with Nick to do 2-a-days for a month. It was in between like my transition of jobs, and so I was gonna have the whole month off. And I just decided, I was like, you know what? During this whole month off, let's just do 2-a-days. But then COVID happened, and so I didn't do 2-a-days.
Yeah.
What did you just do?
My mic gets some dirty feedback when it's by like if this is by this mic, it and like the smallest noise happens, it just like loops itself until it just becomes
Oh
like a
my
decibel. You can that just like makes your ears bleed.
God damn
Sorry.
it.
Sorry guys.
Yeah, so my recommendation, don't train 7 days a week. I doubt that'll help you bring up whatever lacking body part you think you have. That is a split that I cannot condone. I'm cool with most splits as long as they make sense for the person.
Yeah.
But that is one of them that I cannot get on board with for pretty much
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah, I can agree.
Unless you want to count like a cardio day as a training day.
Yeah, I count those as like active recoveries or some shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm
yeah.
just like, it's just cardio.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
Yeah.
don't throw them on leg days.
Yeah. I think if I could send you guys away with something personally, I would say frequency, stick to like 2 to 3 sets, rep ranges, have like 2 rep ranges, maybe 3 rep ranges that you hang out in. So 6 to 8, 12 to 15, 15 to 20. And that's kind of generally speaking, it's a pretty safe bet that you'll have a fine amount of volume within that workout to kind of elicit what you need to. The frequency will kind of give you a chance to kind of train those patterns, not just once a week, but twice a week. So you can kind of nail that a little bit better. Your exercise selection will also be a little bit more, there will be a little bit more variety there, which will open you up to maybe different angles, different muscle fibers. Um, yeah, open up with your heavy compounds. So exercise selection, obviously starting with heavier things, ending the day with lighter things or smaller muscle groups. Still treating them just as intensely as you would an RDL, a bench, or a squat or whatever. Yeah, you're always kind of locked and loaded, no matter the lift. Um, and then yeah, that's pretty much that. Just make sure that you're not overdoing it and digging yourself too far into a hole, and you're keeping things tight, and you're not, you know, being too dirty with those reps.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, through a session, what you'll see happen is load decreases, but your effort needs to hold across the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like with lighter loads, you should be contracting that much harder. Like if that weight gets lighter, you should be contracting that much harder.
Yeah. So bam. You have any questions? We're at an hour and 45. What you got?
Let's see if I got
Anything closing question?
right. A quick one. A quick one. Does the
Quick one.
anabolic window exist? So people are always fanatic. They're like, I just worked out. I have 5 minutes to get this meal in. Otherwise, my workout doesn't count. Is that true?
So the anabolic window, it does
And what
exist.
is that?
It's right after this podcast.
Yeah, that was good.
No. So in a way, it exists, but it's not really what people think it is. It's not this half-hour block that starts the second you set your last set of weights down. There's just a period of time after training that you uptake nutrients better. I think the general concept is roughly 2 hours, but you still uptake. I mean, you're always uptaking nutrients as you eat them. But the general concept is 2 hours after training, have some food in you if you want to take advantage of that spike. But it's not 30 minutes, and it's not a fixed window by any means. We're not really sure when the start time is, right? And probably I haven't looked too far into this side of things. I don't even know if there's a study to it where there is probably a general effort level that has to be achieved before this anabolic window happens, right? So you can't go into the gym, do 3 bicep curls, walk out, and you have an anabolic window, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have to work decently hard to put your body in a state where it's more receiving, I suppose. Um, but I mean, really don't worry too hard about it. You should be eating regularly anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Eat after you train, take advantage of it. Um, obviously don't wait 5 hours after the gym to go eat a meal. You should be trying to eat more regularly than that anyway.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry too hard about it.
Yep.
If you have an intra, definitely don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of my take on it. It's not something to overly stress. What I would stress more is hitting that subscribe button and
You're on point today, Brady.
got him and drop a like because that
Now
was
you
funny.
gotta hit that button. Come on.
If anybody made it this far in the episode,
Yeah, seriously. Yes, we love you.
yeah, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, I agree,
But yeah,
Brady.
that's totally my take on it.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. Um, the window will start as soon as you put that down. I mean, the window starts like kind of as soon as like you've done an intense set, because your body's gonna say, "Hey, like we just kind of did something. It's
Give me
we need
food.
a little bit of something now." So you're gonna be a little bit receptive. But if you like smash your workout, you're gonna be very receptive.
Yep.
That receptiveness will last much longer than the 30 to 45-minute window that is kind of like touted. You've got it. You've got that window for like 24 hours. 48 is like 72 is like, okay, you're probably not going to get nearly as much out of it as you could have, eating immediately after. But you are pretty sensitive to protein specifically, like 24 hours past your workout. You're more sensitive, most likely, right after your workout, because that your
Yeah, I'm sure it's a downward decline, right?
yes, exactly. Yeah. So sooner is better than later. Like Brady said, don't just wait 5 hours. Try to get your meal in as soon as you can, but don't like get super anal about things where it's like, oh, it's 45 minutes past. Screw it. I'm not even gonna eat now. That's dumb.
Yeah,
Don't do that. That's
definitely
something that I
don't do that.
would have done back in the day,
God
right?
damn
Because I used to
yes.
love to have everything like perfect. Like
Oh my god.
perfect. Yeah. That was like a scenario where something like that would happen, where it's like your brain that just doesn't make sense, but your brain does it. It's like, well, yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's like, why did you do that? That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
So I don't think thinking of it as a 30-minute window is inherently a bad thing. I think it does push people to eat after their training, which is a
Hmm.
good thing.
That is good.
But when it paralyzes someone like Brandon to, oh, well,
Yeah.
I guess I might as well not even eat now, um, that's
Yeah,
probably
weigh
not a
like
great thing.
130 pounds. I don't need to
No,
eat.
worked out just fine for me. No, so you should be trying to eat regularly anyway.
Yeah.
Um, so it's not something to stress over. But like if you're, so personally, I'm not ever that hungry right after training. It takes me some time to kind of calm down from the stress of training. Um,
Hmm.
and then I'm hungry. If you're one of those people, that's perfectly fine. Don't think that not being hungry after training means, you aren't receptive to the food that you're going to intake, or let it mean that you have to just shove down food. Um, you can take some time and, relax, take a shower, whatever you want to do, go take a walk. Any of those things to kind of help you calm down so that you're ready to eat. You're not missing some magic window. Um, you're fine. Just make sure you get your next meal in because you're a bodybuilder and you got to eat.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Food for thought. Food
For
for thought.
just some food for thought.
No pun intended.
We got jokes this week.
We do. God damn.
Oh man.
Good shit,
Yeah.
Brady.
Yeah, I think we'll probably close up there. We've answered and chatted for almost 2 hours now, and we won't keep the people any longer. I do think for everybody listening that we might have a guest next week.
Hey.
So that'll be pretty cool. Um, and I guess we'll see next week if it happens. If
Yep.
not, hopefully it'll be soon and y'all get to meet this person. All right, Brandon. It was good chatting. We'll close up here. Oh,
Always a pleasure, buddy.
everybody. If you didn't already hit the subscribe button from that awesome joke that I laid earlier, probably hit it now, and because we want to appreciate you and we want to keep letting you know when videos come out, and that's what hitting the subscribe button does.
That is the best way to figure it out.
Yeah, so I mean, we do come out every Tuesday, and also now the Snack 'em episodes come out on Thursday, which are awesome. Watch those because they're cool. They're little snippet videos, and the next one coming out is pretty dope. All right, we'll close up. We love you guys. Thanks for listening this far. Brandon, we'll catch up later.
Peace, peace.
Deuces.
Deuces.